I stole a kiss.
Clearly, Mama E is your favorite.
Because she gave me chicken last night.
Good morning. Good morning, Cherie. Good morning, Nikki in the house.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning so much.
We have Mr. Sargent today.
I love you. What do you think about it?
2 times the charm today, Baba. I mean, in the last 2 days. Yeah, He was on yesterday and today.
The star of the show. Let's be honest, you show up for him.
Exactly.
Look at his face.
He's like, please rub my ear. He's like, stop talking, rub my ear again.
Oh, I love it.
If you're a dog mom, like, give us a paw.
Paw us.
Or a dog parent.
Paw us, bro. He loves this.
Okay, you guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. So Wednesdays is Empowerment Day, and we're going to speak some truth today to you empowered, inspired, highly motivated, highly obsessed people. So now, look, as a high performer, you have big dreams and aspirations, right? You know that you deserve more. You expect more out of yourself. However, one of the many reasons why we started this community is because we noticed first when we did the show just on my Facebook page that, you guys needed an area to connect with so that, you can,
all you badasses can be all up in the same spot together,
so that you can feel like you're in a safe place where you can express yourself and share with us your journey, whatnot. But the reality is, when you expect more out of yourself, what's expected from society is that you're gonna be talked shit on, you're gonna have haters.
People will try to bring you down.
People will bring you down. People will tell you that you're crazy. Comment below if you've ever experienced that before, when you were telling somebody, this is what I want to achieve, and then they try to bring you down into this, back to your safe place.
And let me say too, it doesn't always come from a place of intentional harm. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes it actually comes from a place of love and care, and I don't want to see you get hurt, or
I don't want to see you suffer.
Yeah, and other times it's people could still unintentionally not being supportive simply because of the issues that they struggle with. Not anything that has to do with you or what you're doing, but the phrase misery loves company is real, and I think subconsciously a lot of people try to bring other people down, not even understanding that that's what they're doing. So for example, you're at a table around a bunch of people in a normal world where there's not coronavirus, and somebody the waitress comes to the table and says, hey, who wants dessert? Some people order, you don't, because you have goals. And then they get their, aren't you going to order anything? Come on, it's just one bite, live a little. And it's them trying to justify and make themselves feel better for what they're doing, because oftentimes they just don't have the courage or the discipline or the support to be doing what you're doing. And so they would rather, instead of level up and say no to something and make a sacrifice, they would rather try to bring you down to partake in what they're doing so that they feel better about it. Now, there's always exceptions, and it's not always 100% of the time the truth. However, it happens a lot, because anything that we say or do is a reflection of us, not the person we're saying it to or doing it to or for.
You want to read some comments?
Yeah, I also want to see the dog parents up in this house. Antonia. Well, I'm pretty sure there's more dog moms, but nobody commented. Boogie,
good morning,
Boogie,
everybody who's just
they're saying
in.
Good morning, Boogie. I get it from my parts of my family. It comes from their own insecurities. Absolutely. Almost my entire life, I was told I would, oops,
What did you do?
did I press,
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Pressed a button.
Wait, I want to
Almost my entire life, I was told I would be fat my entire life.
Whoa, this is
Dude,
powerful. I want to talk about that in just a second.
And that screws with you mentally, and you almost like, if you start to believe it, then that's the shittiest part. You know, you can't live like this. It must be miserable. Yeah, people can't tell you what you feel, right? That's maybe how they would feel, and that's okay. And a lot of times, like, this also isn't me picking on people who would, like, I would call them food pushers. This isn't me picking on people. This is literally like reality. This is what has happened in my own life. This is what happens in the lives of the people that we coach. So we see it over and over and over again. It's a real thing.
Good morning, Lee. Happy day one.
Good morning. The 4 agreements in a nutshell. Yeah, just don't take things personally. Like, if you stop taking things personally, your life gets better.
Okay, but today is all about refusing to conform to normalcy.
What's the title? Refuse to be refused?
No.
Oh.
Refuse to. What's the title, you guys?
What did
Refuse to something. Like refuse to be normal, basically. So, we see this in different areas of our life, right? Oftentimes we see this in our relationships. We see this with our own personal goals, and we see this with, our career and professional goals, right? You have some kind of goal, and, a lot of people, especially the ones that you love, right, will more likely than not give you advice with hopes to have you stay in your comfort zone.
To keep you safe.
And I'm telling you this from my own personal experience. Studies have shown this too, that it's normally your family members who are going to give you the wrong advice simply because they do love you and they don't want to see you suffer. Now, here's the thing with regards to suffering, right? So,
can I say something about what you just said, though?
Yeah.
It's because everybody sees life a different way. And so if somebody sees life differently than you, they're going to try to get you to do the things in the way that they see life, not in the way that you see it. Right? So what you were just saying about, like, normally it's your family because they want to, like, keep you in your comfort zone. Mainly they want to keep you safe. I'm sure it's well intended, but at the same time, it's not their choice to create your life. Mm-hmm. They get to create theirs, but their belief systems, they'll put on anybody else. That's just what we do. Naturally, I think, is like, oh, I believe all of this, so I think that everybody else does too, and oh my God, I can't believe that you're not living according to this. But anyways, so moving forward.
Good morning, Tombs. So, it's the ones that you love who more likely than not will actively push you to stay in your comfort zone. Like, in my own personal life, I've seen this with my body. The body that I live in now, though it's hard to believe, like, growing up, I was a fat kid. I struggled with weight for literally most of my life. And this is why I'm on a mission so big. But I remember that, like, I was made fun of. I was told that, this is how our family's like, this is in our genes. Like, if you guys were to literally see all of my cousins, you're going to be like, there's no way these people are related, right? But here's the thing, something that we said, I think it was last week, your belief system becomes your reality. For some reason, I believed that I was meant for greatness. I don't know how, but I just, without any confidence, when I embarked on my own self-development journey, I was like, you deserve more. But, like, meanwhile, every single day, like, I was told by my family members, do this, become that, marry that, right? And
you can't be this.
Right. And to be honest, like, I I radically challenged them, and I think I radically challenged the entire culture that I was brought up in, and the way that I lead, and the way that I live, because I believe that I'm meant for more. And I know that if you're in this room right now, it's because you feel that very same way. And this is why we started this group in the first place, because when you think differently and you have nobody to express it with, it's very dark and painful. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to make it. It just means that you're going to have to succumb and overcome all the struggles by yourself, and it's not as fun. And it also decreases your chances of making it, because like we said, your belief system with time becomes your reality. So, you know, something that you have to note is, just because somebody loves you doesn't mean that they're giving you the right advice. So you have to pay very close attention to who is it that you're taking advice from, because like we said, your belief system becomes your reality. And Kayla, what you said is huge. You know, you said your entire community and family told you that you're going to be fat for your entire life. Guess what? How do you listen to them? You would have acted that way because you would have believed that, and your reality would have been Kayla at 300 pounds, right? But you actively, you know, put yourself in a different environment, and, you know, it made you think a different way. Yes, it was challenging, right? Act a different way, you know, keep doing that. And over time, look at the growth that you've made, right? And I'm sure that for many of you guys who are in the room right now, like, we're all on our own journey, but we're on the same path, right? The path of greatness, the path for growth. So, you know, whether it's with your relationships, whether it's with your body, whether it's with your choice of career, or who it is that you want to become. Maybe, you know, this whole coronavirus thing is inspiring you to actually like do what it is that you always wanted to do, because now you're taking the time to like breathe and think for yourself, like, is this what I really want my life to look like? You know, so I want to challenge each and every one of you guys today to think about, what is it that you really want your life to look like 1 year from now, right? Like, who are the people that you want to be hanging out with? And maybe not physically, but who do you want to be surrounded by? Okay, and don't think so much about the how it's going to happen. Just get very clear on what is it that you truly want. You know, we're being taught to go to school, to go to college, to go to work, right? Like, we're never actively taking ourselves out of our lives to think, when in fact, thinking is the most important thing you can ever do for yourself. Or as Oprah Winfrey says, the most important thing you can give yourself is time. Taking time to think about what is it that you want to do, what is it that you want to experience, who it is that you want to surround yourself with, who it is that you want to become. You know, once you are so clear on that, then the answers will just start presenting itself. And if you're also aware, right? I mean, if you're not taking the time to think about what is it that you want to be, right? Then you're not going to be aware of the signs when they show up. And you're never going to be able to give yourself the opportunity to make a change. Because I think each and every one of you guys, if you're in this room right now, you had to change at least one element in your life, right? And if you're in this room, then it's most likely a change with regards for physical appearance. It could be more than just that. However, I truly believe that, you know, physical change is the catalyst for any other change in your life, because it just raises your standards of living.
I would challenge that.
What?
I would say the reason we want a physical change is because we want to be in a different emotional and mental state.
Right.
And a physical change will cause that, but it starts from inside. Like,
oh, sure.
So I mean,
that's why you have to take time to think.
having maybe challenge wasn't the right word, but being in a physical body that makes you feel great is great. But we don't just want, okay. So let's say you felt amazing at 300 pounds. And that's where you truly felt your best, your happiest, your, whatever, right? Let's say it was just reverse. Like we're in a world.
If you're like Lizzo.
Let's say, no. Let's say that's healthy. Let's say that was considered healthy, and being where we are now is unhealthy, right? You strive to be what makes you feel the best. So now that can be a physical body. That can be a financial independence or security or freedom or whatever. That can be relationship related. But no matter what, all of these physical things that we try to achieve are because we want to feel better from the inside. So I would say that inside feeling is the catalyst.
Yes, but you're not going to feel confident to raise your standards of life until you live in it.
Yeah, but living in it is the feeling inside.
Right.
Right? So we achieve this external transformation, and then we have confidence. It's confidence. It all comes down to confidence.
Right.
Right. And so I think that we're maybe just not quite understanding each other all the way, but it's both. It matters. Both of it matters, right? Your physical appearance changes your state because it changes your level of confidence, and it changes the way you show up in life, which is where Sarit is saying that it is the catalyst to then leveling up and showing up every aspect of your life even better. There are reachers and there are settlers. You're two kinds of people. Reaching is hard because it requires force. It requires external energy generated, right? Like let's say you have a train. I've given this example before, but let's say you have a train and the train is at a dead stop. It's been just chilling there for a while. And
coronavirus.
If you settle, that's being like, I guess I'll just stay here and sleep on this train. If you're like, man, I don't like where I'm at. I want the train to move somewhere else. You got to get behind that shit and start pushing it. Mm-hmm. It requires your energy and your whatever resources. Maybe you got to hire some people to come help you push the train. You got to get a team. You have to have a support system. You can't move it by yourself, right? So it requires you to apply a force of some variety.
I want to add to that. Mm-hmm. So in order to create momentum, to, create that force, that's challenging, right? And with every single challenge, there's also fear on the other side. And most of the time, and that's why most people will give you advice to stay at the dead train stop, because right now, in this very given moment, it's more comfortable.
Because you know what's going on.
Right.
You know what's happening.
You know what to expect. Yep. You're certain about it.
Yep.
Right? You're in your safe zone. Yep. Right? However, in order to reach further, create your dream reality, whatever it is, right? You have to get outside of that, get outside of your comfort zone.
Why is it not comforting though?
Because you have to overcome fear. You have to challenge fear and take action.
Yeah, it's a really good point. There's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of uncertainty on the other side. And so we have this fear of failure in particular. It's not going to go the way I want. And so then I'm going to be a failure. And then I'm just going to be back to where I am anyways. I might as well not even try. Guess what? If you don't try, there's one thing that's sure as shit is you're not going to get anywhere. But if you do try, guess what? It's guaranteed you're going to fail. You can expect it. It's going to happen. No matter what. Doesn't matter who you are. You will fail. Absolutely. 100%. What do you do with that failure?
This is so powerful.
Like, what do you do with
Steam's
it?
coming out of
Right?
your head right now.
So here's the thing. I'm going to try to push and I'm going to slip and I'm going to eat shit on the rocks and I'm going to bust my teeth out of my face. Ah, damn it. Well, that didn't work. What do I do now? That's one option. Or, shit, this never going to work. I give up. That's the other option. Right? So you will fail. And if you expect that, you're much better off when you reach it. You're like, oh, they warned me. Here it is. I failed. So now what do I do? You either win or you learn.
So most of the time, most people will tell you
win.
to stay in your comfort zone, in the safe zone.
Can I say, hold on. Can I say something again? Because you said it, but we were both talking.
Okay,
but I think it's important.
Go.
You will learn before you win. But you learn from failing.
And
you will fail before you succeed. And so you will have to learn before you win. That's the order of operations, baby.
So 100%. And that's why most of the time you will be told to stay in your safe place. Like, think small, baby. Don't think big.
I don't want to see you get hurt.
Because, so here's the thing. It's a thinking. Those are the thinkers who think about the short-term gain, right? Failure is 100% correlated with a long-term gain. People who think only one step ahead, not 100 steps ahead, will think about the short-term gain.
In those 100 steps, there might be like,
and those are the normal people. Those are the average people. Those are the
settlers.
Settlers. Right.
Reachers.
The average. You're not
Settlers.
one of them. Okay? You're not one of them. So expect to fail. Expect the road to be hard. But yes, expect to reach beyond anything that you've ever imagined.
You know what? Here's the thing. It's hard, but guess how freaking satisfying it is when you get there. It is hard. Yes, it's hard. Guess what? Everybody wants to tell you it's simple, it's quick, it's easy, it's fast, it's immediate, it's cheap, it's whatever. And it's not. Anything great requires effort, requires work, requires failure, requires blood, sweat, and tears.
Yep.
And energy and resources and time and patience. And it is not easy, but guess how fucking satisfying it is when you reach.
Fulfilling.
Empowering.
When your body, heart, mind, and soul is in alignment every single day.
I have an example. Can I share it?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of times, I'll be happy when blank. I'll be happy when. Okay, so I'll be happy when I lose 50 pounds. So you go to the doctor and you get a tummy tuck or liposuction or something. Are you happy?
No.
You're a little bit more satisfied with the way your body looks, but because nothing changed, nothing will change. And you will go back to where you were. Again, you're not happy because you didn't earn it.
Yeah.
You didn't earn it. When you earn it, you find happiness because it's empowering and it's inspiring. And you did that shit. You did that shit. That is what makes you happy. Everybody wants happiness. You gotta dig in and get your hands dirty and achieve and earn. Then you will be happy.
But so many times too, even the dreamers, and this is for anybody who has failed before, don't get wrapped up by the short-term distraction. Don't. It's all about the long-term game. It's all about what will this action right now do to my life 1 year from now and 10 years from now. Don't think about the 1 month bullshit or 1 week or 1 day bullshit. We live in a society of instant gratification. Average wants instant gratification. The great knows that what you do right now will pay off 15 years from now. And it requires faith, it requires persistence, and it requires hard work. And guess what? Because the road is long, right? It is challenging, 100%. But that is why you need to be in this community, and that's why you're listening to it right now, to this show right now. And you're here right now because deep down, you know that it's not easy and it takes some time. But because it takes time doesn't mean that you're not going to make it happen. People are just so freaking impatient. And the reason why I say this is because, look, I was impatient too.
The only way we can say any of these things with so much conviction is because we have lived it. We've lived it.
And the reason why we feel so good talking about it is honestly because my body has been earned. Our relationship has been earned, right? Our business is growing. It's been earned.
It's being
the amount
earned.
of failures we had. If you guys have been with us for almost a year, you're like, they're getting better at what they're doing.
Or even 2 years from now, like
the amount. I gotta tell you, when I went on my journey for the very first time, the amount of people who told me that I was crazy, and
what journey?
Entrepreneurship journey. It's insane the amount of times I've been told no, and it's scary. It really is, because those are people who love you and know you, and they're like, shit.
And if they don't believe in you and they love you, how can you believe in yourself?
Right.
It's crazy.
It's really important that you need to believe in yourself, and that's why it doesn't matter what anybody says. And this is what Alicia Keys said to Oprah. She's like, nobody knows you better than you know you. And that's why it is so important to take the time to think, because nobody has your head and your heart, and nobody knows you better than you. And if you have a voice inside your head that says, I'm gonna have a six-pack, you will have a fucking six-pack, baby, and you're gonna get to work, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't show up in another month or another year. For as long as you will stay persistent, you will have a freaking six-pack. And I'm telling you that from experience, because I went from fat to fit. And I've kept it for years.
Okay, do you have more? I wanted to add 2 things from something that I said a while ago, and I want to make sure that everybody's clear too. I said, when you earn whatever you're reaching for, you will be happy. You can be happy now. I'm not saying that you can't be happy unless you've achieved whatever. There are sources of happiness, right? Like you may have family or kids or grandkids or, a significant other. And that is a source of happiness that makes you happy. It makes you feel happy feelings. But to be truly, truly, genuinely happy within yourself,
reasonably,
independent, that's the word, independent of any external anything, has to come from within. And normally that's when you are contributing to yourself, sticking to your word, and then you are able to contribute to others. The other thing that I want to say is there's a harmony between 10 years from now and YOLO, right? Like living in the now. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. No, you're not. But it would be actually silly to live as though you won't live tomorrow, right? So when we're talking about thinking 100 steps ahead, not just right now, there's a really, really good time to live in the now and just focus on now, right? Like we preach that too, one day at a time, right? Like one day at a time. Be present now in the moment. You're not guaranteed tomorrow, whatever, but there needs to be a harmony between that thought and the other thought of like, I've got to plan ahead. Because if you only do one or the other, you're going to fuck yourself for the other one, right? Oh, if I only YOLO, I'm going to have no plan ahead. That's why how many percent of Americans, and I used to be in this category too, bless me, gosh, how did I even get out of that? But like in the position where you couldn't, if you had a $400 unexpected payment, you wouldn't be able to find that money from somewhere. Like we don't have any money in our savings account. Like we're not planned for the future, right? But if you plan too far ahead, you struggle to live now, right? And this is the example of like really high executives or, like CEOs, whatever, where they're just all grind, and they don't take the time to live. There's no harmony. So you got to find that.
Yeah, this is really important. I think mastery is a byproduct of figuring out harmonization of the long-term gain, and just reaching for really high standards, knowing that it's going to take time, putting in everything that you have every single day to achieve that, but also not settling for what's important in the now. And we see that a lot of times in society too. And like you said, it like most executives and CEOs are fat ass shit. And it's the saddest thing. Most of them are divorced. Why? They went all in one area of their life, but their health went to shit and they have nobody to talk to by the end of the day. So their life is empty, but their bank account is full, right? Most people who have an amazing body, or like bodybuilders and shit, they're broke as fuck. Yes, you have striations in your shoulders, but like you're scared when you go grocery shopping. That's not a life to live either, right? So, you know, what we're saying is never settle. Take the time to think about what's really important for you in life. And if people are telling you to quiet down, to stay in your comfort zone, then you need to get out of your comfort zone and surround yourself in a community and an environment that will push you farther, because it is scary, but as long as you have faith in you, then you will make it happen. The road will become a lot smoother mentally, for as long as you have a support system. So that's really important. However, don't lose sight of the now in the quest for, you know, the future. And that's why I see that some of our one-on-ones are in this group right now, are listening right now. Like Jessica, I see that you're here. Lee, I think you're here too. You know, I want to give you guys a shout out, and this is something that we work on with our one-on-ones, right? Like we set you guys with strategies.
Sterling is here.
Sterling, to help you achieve. However, like, you know, that's why we give you that. Depending, I mean, everybody's program looks different, but like you get, like Jessica, for example, you get one meal where you can do whatever you want, right? Because this is how we harmonize, right? Eating what you love and what's important to you, while also reaching farther with your goals, not settling, but harmonizing.
That could be taken really out of context too. So I want to clarify, like, getting one meal where you can eat whatever you want. Like, again, each person's journey is their own.
Right.
And there's a reason why we have people do what we have them do. And so don't take anything that we say one of our one-on-one clients is doing and be like, oh, well, if they're doing that with their one-on-one people, then I can do that too. Your story is not their story. Yeah. Your journey, where you're at right now, is not their journey or where they are at right now. Okay. So if you want individualized help, you can reach out to us, of course. But I didn't want that to be taken out of context and assumed that that's just okay for everyone.
Yeah, but that's just like an example with like how we do it with nutrition. One of the many examples.
Michael Kenny, I've seen you in this house twice in a row. What's up,
good
buddy?
to see you. Okay, so here's the thing. If you are refusing to settle and you know, man, like they're just speaking my language, and I know that right now it's my time to not settle for the body that I want, because yes, aside from the fact that summer is coming, like you feel it in your gut. Before you make any sort of significant life change, you have this feeling in your gut. Otherwise, you wouldn't go to action, right?
It's like like a butterfly.
So if we're speaking your language, then you need to take a look at the raw transformation program that we have coming up next week. Registration is now open.
It's open for this week until Friday.
Right. It closes on Friday, so stop dilly-dallying.
Stop tiptoeing through the tulips.
Stop making excuses, you know, like you can either get results or excuses. We told you that this is not going to be easy, but it's up to you to make the sacrifices that you're required to make in order to get what you want in life. Life is a give or take of anything, but if you're like, you know what, I'm ready, then you're going to need to click on the link that we'll provide to you and check out, sign up for the transformation. If you know anybody who's like, you know what, they need to do this with me, man, share it with them. Otherwise, you're disservicing them by making them stay average.
I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I was like, man, am I being so harsh and like so pushy and salesy? And everything was coming from love. And I was like, no, actually, when I believe I have the change that you need, I am so convicted that it is my obligation to do everything in my power to get you to sign up. It's not a trick. It's not just to get as much money as we can. Look, like several people have tried different programs that they haven't had success on. So I understand that when you see a dollar amount, you're like, I don't want to pay. This was the objection is, I don't want to pay that much to find out if maybe it will work or not, because I've tried so many things in the past, which is a completely valid concern. However, I'm like, you have no idea until you're in it. And I encourage anybody, if you have that same feeling, to reach out to somebody else who's done one of the transformations or any coaching with us from free to however much. Ask them what their experience has been. I guarantee you it will change your life. And I feel sad for those who consider and don't jump in. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, feel sad.
Yeah, because you didn't give yourself a chance when you were given the opportunity. And this is what we talked about at the beginning. Opportunities will come to each and every one of you, but it's up to you guys to choose to take it up or not. Mm-hmm. And the saddest thing is not taking up opportunities when they come to you, because you're going to end up staying in your safe zone. And when you stay in your safe zone, one thing is guaranteed. Nothing is going to change. It could change for the worse, but definitely not for the better. Sure. But if you're in this room right now, then we know that you want more. Most of you guys who are in this room are either doing one-on-one with us or have signed up for the transformation. You guys, as you know, the reason why this show has grown and why this community has grown is really because of you. We show up 5 days a week for you, to empower you, to inspire you, to provide for you a space where you can think differently, because you know that when you think differently, you act differently, and that will change the rest of your life and the course of your life. So if you know that there is at least one person in your life right now who is just in a funk, and we know that right now a lot of people are in a funk, like, do us a favor and just share this video with them, okay? Like,
it's also going to be on YouTube shortly, so you can find it on YouTube, send them the link. Yeah, like there's going to be several ways you can share it. I'm also going to blast out an email like I've been doing every day to make sure that you guys get this, so that you see it on YouTube, so that you can share it with people. You can forward the email to somebody else who needs it, because it is a gift, truly.
Mm-hmm. And when you receive, you must give back. That's just how it works. You guys, we love you. We hope that you have an amazing day. Remember, take some time to think. Never freaking settle. Stay in this group. We're honored to be your guide and your support system. And for many of you guys, your mentors as well in your path of success. We wish you an amazing day, and we will see you tomorrow, 6:30.
Bye, guys.
Bye.